What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to let you know a little bit of what's going on with the Sound Alchemist and this channel. So first and foremost, the most important thing that I'm here to talk about is that videos are coming out for the official fan codex for my 11th Legion, the Celestial Sons. Now, I've got a playlist going on that's been going on for like 2 years now, and basically I've got lore, battle reports, art, and just basically rules and just everything you can think about that involves playing 40K, collecting 40K, modeling 40K in that playlist that revolves around my own fan chapter. So of course they're called the Celestial Sons. They're my take on the Lost Legion, the 11th Legion, and basically I'm ready to put out official lore. This has been a very difficult yet very rewarding type of hobby for me. 40K is expensive, 40K is very time consuming, and 40K has its ups and its downs. So as you all know, it's not easy getting into 40K, especially knowing that, you know, your armies may not look like the ones you see in the codex, because you may not be the best painter, you may not have a GW around, which means you're gonna have to go to like third-party sites or eBay to get the models, and then it takes time. Like, don't expect to get into 40K right away. Say if you want to play a quick game and you buy the starter sets, you still gotta like cut out the sprue, glue it together, and then get to know the rules, and the rules aren't that easy. So 40K is definitely not a game for somebody who wants to play a quick match. Like, for example, trading card games, you buy a starter, boom, you're ready to play. With 40K, there's so much more, but because of that, I feel like it's so much more rewarding. Creating your own model, painting it, basing it, getting it positioned the way you want it to, is a lot more rewarding than purchasing and having it commissioned. That being said, my army has entirely been commissioned. I've either found perfect sculpts on eBay, or I've had the guys from Dark Bunny, Hydra Miniature Paintings, and yes, even Siege Studios commission a few miniatures for me. And if you want to see the whole showcase, again, I recommend you check out the Celestial Sun playlist. And speaking of playlist, I am creating a brand spanking new playlist entitled Codex Celestial Sons. And that I'm going to be putting in a total of 11 videos. And those 11 videos are going to represent the 11 chapters of my codex. I will be going through the lore of the hardcore lore written in stone that I'm not changing. I finally gotten it right, and that's what's sticking with it. So the first part is actually up. It is the backstory to my Primarch, Alec Elric. So you get to learn where his origins came from, why he is the man that he is, and it's a really good read. It has to do a lot with, I guess, loss, but I won't try to ruin it for you. I'll put a link at the end of the video or down at the description, whatever I end up remembering to do, so you guys can go ahead and check that. And I will be updating that brand spanking new Codex Celestial Sons playlist every other Sunday. We'll be calling it Celestial Sundays. So since I just put out part 1 last Sunday, this next Sunday is going to be a bye week, and then part 2 will go up bye week, part 3. So that way I have time to get everything organized, get everything edited, and put out into a perfected video. This one that I just did, I think it took me a total of 5 hours to flesh out the story, find the images that fit the story, and overall edit it and make it more thematic than just your regular old 40 facts video or For the Greater Wall video. So as you can see, if you've seen that video, I'm not a great editor. I think Gershwin does miles and miles of more intense editing than I do. But still, it took me time, and it's something that I'm proud of. So again, you guys are welcome to watch it, critique it, let me know what you think. And if there's any aspects of it that you want to include into your lore, or if you want to combine my Lost Legion lore with your own fan Legion lore, go right ahead. This is a hobby that's meant to be played with others. So again, if you want to use my creations, if you want to use the artwork there, whatever it is, go ahead. Again, I feel like it's best, expressed that way. Unfortunately, I can't play you in a real game. I have played a few people here and there, but due to like family stuff and work stuff, time constraints, there's not really a lot of time to play 40K. And it's been a while since we played 40K. We've actually been focusing a lot more on D&D. Dungeons and Dragons was something that I've always kind of seen as like, oh, that's really geeky, really nerdy, I'll never get into it. And look at me now. I am deep in the bowels of D&D. I think we've got like 3 sessions that I'm currently in. One's been on hiatus since October, so I don't really count that. But there's 2 ongoing sessions that I go to and I enjoy. So again, if you've never thought about playing Dungeons and Dragons or get into the whole role-playing aspect, give it a shot. It's really fun. And speaking of that, Gershwin's is actually DMing a session that I'm in, and he's incorporating Warhammer into the world that we've created, or that he's created for it. So I'm hoping he puts lore of it into a video format so you guys can kind of see what we're running, what we're doing with that story. So maybe you get to see that, maybe not. But again, give Dungeons and Dragons a shot. But anyway, going back to the Celestial Sun thing, again, check out the videos. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and stay subscribed, because like I said, every other Sunday I will be putting in the next chapter into the 11th Legion lore. So basically, to give you an overview, the Primarch of my Celestial Sons, his name is Alec Elric, the Light of the Imperium. The Legion colors is white, gold, and red, and they specialize in using psychic powers that delve into both pyromancy and fulmination disciplines, which is fire and lightning. Now, since they are a legion, meaning that their creation, their inception was back in the 30th millennia, their objective back in the 30K era was to free humankind from Xenos control and to bring them under the rule of the Emperor, meaning to bring them back into the Imperial fold. A lot happened between 30K and 40K, as we know, so their objectives has changed quite a bit since then. Now in the 40K era, their objective is to revive the Emperor by controlling the Catan known as the Void Dragon, using the Void Dragon to go into the Golden Throne's machine spirit and use it to revive him. So quite a feat indeed. Will they achieve this? I don't know. You gotta see and read the lore, or I guess watch the lore in my case. I do plan on making this into like a legit codex, like a codex you can hold in your hand, so I might be able to like give out like PDFs on it where you guys can download or something. We'll see if it gets to that point. But anyway, this is the index or the timeline of what I plan to give out to you. The codex playlist that I've been making. So here it is. It's called The Lost Legion Fan Lore, Forging a Narrative. Codex, Celestial Sons, the 11th Legion. Chapter 1 is called The Ascending Sun, and it dives into Alec Elric's origins, which is currently out now. You could watch that. Chapter 2 is called Hellfrost and Heaven's Flames. This deals with the inception of Dead Fist, and it also goes into a massive battle between the orcs and the Space Wolves, as well as the Celestial Sons. Chapter 3 is entitled Deceit and Decay, and this is basically involves Hueco and Varos going on a mission on the moon of Eldia, and it also goes into a little bit of the Forge world of Eldia. Chapter 4 is entitled The Fractured Sun Incident / The Edict of Obliteration, and this is where shit hits the fan. The 11th Legion goes up against the Space Wolves, the Sisters of Silence, and the Adeptus Custodes, and during this massive battle, the creation of the Infernal Suns also happens. So this is a very pivotal, damn, I can't speak, portion into my Legion's lore. Moving on from here, you have the 5th chapter, The Prison of the Gods. And this is where they encounter a Catan shard entitled Merebi the Form Seeker. So, yes, they fight against Catan. Chapter 6 is called The Infinite Hunt, and this is where the remnants of the 11th Legion go forth and try to recover 3 relics for Trazian, who is a Necron Lord. Chapter 7 is called The Fading Light, and this is another pivotal battle that pits the Celestial Sons against the Aldari, and then eventually the Infernal Sons join, and then you get the descent towards chaos for a certain specific member of the Legion. Chapter 8 is called The Sun's Shadow, and it basically talks about the notable members that have turned coat, and they are called the Bloody Eclipses, which are like the generals of this warband. And then you get the Burning Shadow fighting against the Midnight Sun. Chapter 9 is another battle entitled The Battle of the Frozen Light, which pits the Celestial Sons up against the Warriors of Titan, the Grey Knights. And then you have Chapter 10 and Chapter 11, which I'll leave as a surprise to you guys. So I have a lot planned. I have Chapters 1, 2, and 3 completely finished and ready to go. I just gotta actually sit down, record, and edit it. But again, bi-week this week, next Sunday it'll come out. So every other Sunday expect it. So this codex won't be finished for quite some time. And once the 11th chapter of the lore is done, then I'll go into the meat of the mechanics, like what my Primarch's stats are, you know, the whole point value system, what weapons are available in their armory, stratagems, warlord traits, all that I'll get into later on, because there's a whole lot of play testing to be done. Basically what I want them to be is a mixture of kind of Grey Knights, Blood Angel-y-ness, where they're powerful psychically, but they're also good up close in the charge. But again, there's a whole lot of things that needs to be play tested before they become like officially ready to use, like against Gershwan, or maybe I could, if my opponent allows it, I could, you know, bring them in a game at like a GW store or something like that. So I can't wait for that to happen. So yeah, that's all I've got for today, guys. Please go ahead and check out the first chapter, The Ascending Sun, to my lore. Let me know what you think, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you for being subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me speak today. I know it's not like a 40 facts video or anything like that, but I appreciate you listening in. And with that being said, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys next time.